Matt Morgan here with M3 Mind Move Manifest, and I want to talk to you today about the number one first step to take to getting on the path to solving your problem, whatever you may be facing right now. And this comes about for me because this weekend we were needing to make some financial moves, and I have some resistance to that when it comes to counting things and just things like taxes and numbers. That's not something that it's just not in my spirit. It's not what it is that I want to do. If I had to be an accountant or anything like that, that would be a very challenging thing for me. I live for different reasons. My spirit calls to other things, but I was facing this thing, and I was in this place where I just was not seeing how this was possible. And I'd come up to a certain point, and then I realized, because I was working really hard at it, I said, you know what? I'm just going to set this down. I'm going to let it out of me. And I mentioned to my wife what the problem was. And she immediately, and I did this in the fashion that said, you know what? I know that I'm going to find the answer. I know that I'm going to find the answer, and I just am not in tune with it right now. Usually your answer is right around you. And I told her what it was, and then I told her what the problem was, and she said to me, okay, well, just do this. Now, if I wasn't receptive to that, I wouldn't have done that. But what I ended up doing was taking the step that she simply just told me, and it solved the problem. So I want to talk to you today about how to get into that spirit, how to find the number one step, the very first thing that you're going to do to get on the path to solving whatever problem you may be facing. And there's a simple way to do this. If you take a sheet of paper and you draw a line down the center of it, and you write on one side, why I can't do this. And then on the other side, why I can do this. And then you go and you list all of the things of why you can't do it, all the things that are standing in your way on the left side of the paper, and be detailed about it. Get it out. Get everything out. Why it won't work, what's standing in your way, what the problem is. And then on the right side, begin to list all the reasons why you can do it and all the possible reasons why or how this can be solved for you. And this is an important part, because this is something that lives inside of us. We're taught, it's genetically handed down to worry about things and think about the worst thing that could happen. And if you think about it's a natural state, because you think before we even civilized, you had animals out there that were going to kill you. So the person that was walking up in those times and just looking at the pretty butterflies and the rainbow and the pretty grass and just oblivious to things, well, you got to think that that person got ate by the saber-toothed tiger that was hiding in the grass or whatever, because they were just not even thinking about what they needed to do to survive, the basics of survival. So those genetics weren't passed along. It was natural for us to pass those genetics along that said what can go wrong. So it's very natural today when it comes to solving our problems for us to figure out why things aren't going to go well. It's not our fault. It's something that's been genetically programmed into us. And it's been handed down from generation to generation, because as you got older, people always told you why you couldn't do something. And people love to stand around. It's very common and just say, this is why these things aren't going to work. And this is why this is no good. And this is bad. And so we just learn. We learn this too. Genetically, it's programmed in, handed down from generations. And then environmentally, it's just like, this is the way we talk about why things won't work. But here's the key. That stuff will not serve you. All you're doing at that point is programming into yourself why it won't work. And that programming actually goes out and looks for more of those answers. It's not going to serve you to do that. So take your piece of paper and understand this first step, just like this. Tear it down the middle, and the left side, with all the reasons why this won't work for you, get rid of it. You've got it out of you now, and throw it away and understand that that is not going to serve you. And I want to share something with you by one of the most prolific writers that has existed in the last 500 years, Thomas Troward. And Thomas Troward said, the law of flotation was not discovered by contemplating the sinking of things, but by contemplating the floating of things, which float naturally and then intelligently, asking why they did so. Now, doesn't that make sense? Looking at something for why it works, why it can be done, how that thing works that way is going to begin to program you for looking for the answers and understanding that there is an answer out there. And when you're programmed that way, that's what you're going to look for. You have no idea what your subconscious is plugged into. It's taking in everything. Our conscious mind only takes in whatever we're programmed to take in. But our subconscious is taking everything in. And we even go so far as to say that our subconscious is connected to everyone and everything all at the same time. So you can have the answer inside of you, but because your programming, which is also in your subconscious, is not believing that that is possible, then you're not going to find the answer. You're not going to connect with it. So let the how it cannot be done go. Get rid of it. The number one step for getting on the path, the right path for solving your problem, and only focus on how it can be done and understand that it can be done. Anything can be done. We've flown. We've got the Wright brothers. We all carry cell phones in our pockets. We've flown to the moon. We've taken a rocket and we've sent it to the moon with a man in it. And if you think that there weren't challenges to be faced in those things, think again. But those challenges were overcome by people thinking in how it can be done. Do this, and you'll be amazed at how quickly you find the solution to your problem. Matt Morgan here, Mind Move Manifest M3. If you like what you see here and it's benefiting you in your life, it's making a difference, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn the notifications on so that you never miss a chance to take this wonderful information in and improve your life.